session of Principles of Macroeconomics 2 BECC 134. Today is the first session of this paper. Today we will do about ISLM analysis. What is IS and what is LM? Here introduction to the ISLM model. ISLM model, this name originates from its basic equilibrium conditions. I means investment and S means saving. Investment must equals to saving and L means liquidity preference, which represent money demand, and M means money supply or quantity of money. LM means when money demand must equals to money supplied, then equilibrium will be achieved. And according to IS, where investment is equals to saving, then equilibrium will be achieved. The model of ISLM curve analysis was first developed by Keynesian economics, but can be used to represent both classical and Keynesian models. The classic creation citation is J.R. Hicks. Mr. Keynes and the classic, a suggested interpretation, Econometria 1937. The model is general enough to analyze the business cycle from either a Keynesian or classical perspective, and therein hangs a tale, as you like it, Shakespeare. So IS represent investment and saving, and investment must be equals to saving according to this model. And LM shows money supply and money demand. Money demand must be equals to money supply. This model was firstly introduced by classical economics. According to classical economics, where demand for loanable fund and supply of loanable fund intersect each other or equals, then equilibrium rate of interest is determined. But according to J.R. Hicks, rate of interest is determined on that point where IS and LM curve intersect each other. The basic difference between classical approach and Keynesian approach or J.R. Hicks approach is that Keynes used money demand and money supply word, investment and saving word, but classical economics use demand for loanable fund, which is always downward sloping curve and inversely related to rate of interest, and supply of loanable fund, which is always upward sloping curve, shows direct and positive relationship between interest rate and supply. First of all, you have to understand about who demand for loanable fund and who supplies of loanable fund. Loanable fund is demanded by consumers, investors, and other firms, etc. It means consumer can demand for borrowings for consumer consumption purposes. Firm also demand for borrowings for their business purposes, and investors can also demand for borrowings or loanable funds for investing the money in business enterprises. When interest rate decreases, demand for loan or loanable fund will increase. And when interest rate decreases, demand for loanable fund increases, and vice versa. That's why demand for loanable fund curve is always downward sloping curve. And supply of loanable fund is always upward sloping curve. Who supplies loanable fund? Bank or commercial banks supply the fund or borrowings to the firms, business enterprises and consumers. So supply is always directly or positively related with rate of interest. That's why supply for loanable fund is always upward sloping curve. According to classical economics, where demand for loanable fund curve and supply of loanable fund curve intersect each other, equilibrium rate of interest is determined. But according to Keynes and G.R. Hicks, rate of interest is determined through the intersection of IS and LM curve analysis. So this is the basic model of ISLM, in which I shows investment and S shows saving, L shows liquidity preference or money demand, and M means money supply. History of ISLM model. British economist John Hicks first introduced the ISLM model in 1937. Just 1 year after, fellow British economist John Maynard Keynes or J.M. Keynes published the General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. Hicks' model served as a formalized graphical presentation of Keynes' theories, though it is used mainly as a heuristic device today. According to J.R. Hicks and John Maynard Keynes, ISLM generally establish the equilibrium rate of interest. Rate of interest play very important role in the economy. Rate of interest can encourage the investment level or it may be discourage the investment level. If Reserve Bank increases the rate of interest, then the borrowings taken by firms and business enterprises will fall. And if interest rate falls, then investors will invest more money in their business enterprises. When investment increases, then production increases. After that, employment will rise, income will rise, and economy will reach in the situation of boom. And if interest rate increases, then investment will decrease, production will decrease, employment will decrease, and income will also fall. Due to fall in income, standard of living of the country people will also fall, and economy will reach in the position of depression or recession. So interest rate play very important role to increase the investment level or to decrease the investment level. And how interest rate is determined? Interest rate is determined with the help of ISLM curve analysis, which is introduced by British economist John Hicks or J.R. Hicks and J.M. Keynes in 1937. Next is the meaning of the ISLM model. The ISLM model represents the simultaneous equilibrium of the goods and services market and the asset market. Generally, IS represent goods market equilibrium and LM represent money market equilibrium. Because in LM, we include money demand and money supply. That's why LM is related to money market. And IS, which shows investment and saving, which is related with producers and consumers. That's why producers, which is produce goods and services, that's why IS model represent goods market equilibrium. I represent investment and S represent saving. L means real money demand, which is calculated by dividing nominal money to price level. Then we can get real money demand. And M represent money supply. Money is supplied by Reserve Bank of India. All paper currencies, coins, notes, etc. are issued by RBI, but 1 rupee note is issued by Ministry of Finance, Government of India. During equilibrium situation, I will be equals to S and L will be equals to M. Then equilibrium will be established. Next is derivation of the IS curve. This is very important topic. How IS curve can be derived with the help of investment curve and aggregate demand and aggregate supply curve. The derivation of IS curve depends upon the relationship between investment and rate of interest. As we know that investment always inversely related with rate of interest. When rate of interest increases, investment falls. And when rate of interest falls, investment increases. The relationship between investment and rate of interest is always negative. That's why investment curve is always downward sloping curve. Next, this diagram is here 45-degree line. First diagram is showing 45-degree line which shows aggregate supply line or aggregate supply curve. This curve is always 45-degree line because it shows direct and proportionate relationship between income and output. If income is zero, then output will be zero. As well as income rises, output will also rise by the same ratio or proportionately. That's why this line is always 45-degree line. This line shows aggregate supply line. Next is aggregate demand curve, which always start from the y-axis, not from the origin, because demand can never be zero. In demand, we include consumption and investment in a two-sector economy model. If there is a two-sector economy model exists in the economy, then we will take aggregate demand components only two, C and I. C shows consumption and I shows investment. And if there is three-sector economy model exists in the economy, then we will take C, I and G. Here C is consumption, I is investment and G is government expenditure. If there is four-sector economy, then C plus I plus G plus net export, we will include this. So here we are taking that only two-sector economy exists in the economy. Then aggregate demand takes two components C and I, and here C is included, which shows consumption, and consumption can never be zero. At zero level of income, minimum level of consumption always exists. That is called autonomous consumption, which can never be zero. That's why aggregate demand curve always start from the y-axis. If investment increases, then this AD line will shifts to the upward. Firstly, equilibrium point A dash is determined where aggregate demand and aggregate supply curve intersect each other. At this equilibrium point, income level is Y dash. And if aggregate demand increases, this curve will shift to the upward. New equilibrium point will be determined A. At this equilibrium point, income level will be Y, OY. So here when investment increases, then income level will also rise. And if we want to derive investment saving curve with the help of this aggregate demand and aggregate supply curve, then we will draw another curve which simultaneously can determine the curve shape of IS. IS curve is always downward sloping curve. which shows the inverse relationship between interest rate and the level of income. Here, if we join these lines from A dash equilibrium to Y dash income level equilibrium, if we join this line to another curve, and A to from point A, the equilibrium level of income is OY. If we join this line to another curve, then we will get two level of incomes Y dash and Y. And here on y-axis, we have written interest rate. Due to rise in interest rate, income level will fall, and due to fall in interest rate, income level will rise. And we get 2 points A dash and A. If we join these 2 points, then we will get IS curve, which is always downward sloping curve or negatively sloped curve, represent the inverse relationship between interest rate and the level of income. Because if interest rate increases, then investment will fall, production will fall, employment will fall, and income will also fall. So at high rate of interest, income will less, and at low rate of interest, income will be high. That's why IS curve is always downward sloping curve from left to right. The derivation of the IS curve in this equilibrium in the goods market implies that an increase in the interest rate leads to a decrease in output. The IS curve is always downward or negatively sloped curve. Next is deriving the IS equation. Here we have discussed about derivation of IS curve. Now, how we can derive the equation of IS curve? We have therefore shown that there exists a negative relationship between the interest rate and income level or output level. This negative relationship is known as the IS curve. The mathematical form of the IS curve is called the IS relation, and it is simply, we can write in this form, Y is equals to C plus I plus G. Here C is consumption. Consumption we can get after deducting income minus taxes. The equation of consumption is A plus B by D. A is autonomous consumption, B is MPC, marginal propensity to consume, and YD is disposable income. Disposable income can be calculated after deducting direct taxes. If we deduct direct taxes from income level, then we can get disposable income. So here C in bracket Y minus T, here Y minus T is showing disposable income. Means consumption always depends upon our disposable income. If disposable income is higher, consumption will be higher. If disposable income is lower, then consumption will be lower. Next is I. I means investment. Investment generally depends upon the rate of interest. If rate of interest increases, investment falls. If a rate of interest falls, investment increases. And we can write the equation of I is in bracket Y and I. Y is the level of income and I is the rate of interest. Here Y represent that if income level rises, then our saving capacity will also rise. And due to rise in saving, investment will automatically rise. And investment depends upon income and rate of interest. Third component is G. G is government expenditure. So if there is three sector economy exists, then we will take the IS curve equation is C plus I plus G. But if four sector economy exists in the economy, then we will take C plus I plus G plus net export, or we can write export minus import. A more specific form of this equation is the already familiar to us equation Y is equals to 1 upon 1 minus C. Here 1 minus C is 1 minus MPC, or 1 upon 1 minus MPC is equals to 1 upon MPS or K. And in this form, C0 is consumption and autonomous consumption. C1 is MPC, which depends upon disposable income, which is calculated by deducting income minus direct taxes, and I is investment, and G is government expenditure. So this is the equation of IS curve analysis. Next is the slope of IS curve. How we can draw the slope of IS curve? Or IS curve generally slopes downward or negative sloped from left to right. But this IS curve may be steeper or may be flatter. When the real income is increased, the national saving curve will move to the right. In order to restore the equilibrium in the goods market, the real interest rate must fall to stimulate the investment. The IS curve is generally downward sloping curve or negatively sloped curve. So IS curve slope is negative, downward, but it may be steeper or may be flatter. Depends upon rate of interest and the level of income. Here two main factors which are responsible for the steeper and flatter shape of IS curve. And these two factors are, one is level of income and second is rate of interest. Slope of IS curve depends upon, number one is the sensitivity of investment to the rate of interest. It means how much investment is sensitive to the rate of interest, or how much change in investment will occur due to change in interest rate. If there is a more sensitivity of investment to the change in rate of interest, then curve will be more flatter. And if there is less sensitivity of investment to the change in rate of interest, then IS curve will be steeper. And the second point is the value of multiplier, which also determine the slope of IS curve. Either it may be steeper or may be flatter, depends upon the size of multiplier. If the size of multiplier is higher, then curve will be more flatter. And if the size of multiplier is lower, and then IS curve slope will be steeper. Here two diagrams, which is IS1 and IS2, we have drawn. This IS1 shows flatter IS curve slope and IS2 curve is steeper IS curve. When investment is more sensitive to the rate of interest and when the size of multiplier is higher, then IS curve will be more flatter. And if investment is less sensitive to the rate of interest and the size of multiplier is lower, then IS curve will be steeper. So the slope of IS curve may be steeper and may be flatter, but generally slopes always downward or negative. The steeper and flatter shape of IS curve depends upon the two main factors, or here two main reasons behind this. One is sensitivity of investment to the rate of interest and second is size of multiplier. Next is shift in IS curve. How IS curve can shift? First of all, IS curve can be shift either to the rightward or leftward. It depends upon the change in fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is that policy which is made by government. And the main tools of fiscal policies are: first is public revenue, second is public expenditure, third is public debt, and fourth is budget. These are the main tools of fiscal policy. And fiscal policy may be expansionary or may be contractionary. If government increases public expenditure and reduces the rate of taxation, it means government is following expansionary fiscal policy. In this case, if government is spending more money, then country people income will rise, and due to rise in income of the country people, their purchasing power will rise, demand will rise, and this IS curve will shift to the right hand side. Because if demand rises, then production will rise. If production rises, investment will rise. And due to rise in investment, this IS curve will shift to the right hand side. And if government cut the public expenditure and impose more taxes on consumers and producers, then the real income or purchasing power of the consumer will fall. Due to fall in income, their demand will fall, production will fall, employment will fall, investment will fall, and due to fall in investment, this IS curve will shift to the left hand side. So IS curve can be shifted either to the right hand side or upward or left hand side or downward. A fall in the real exchange rate or an exogenous increase in consumption or investment or the balance of trade shifts IS to the right. When IS shifts to the right, then output will increase. Income and employment will also increase at each level of the interest rate. And if there is a fall in interest rate, holding everything else constant increases the level of investment and output, income and employment. That's why IS curve can shift to the right hand side due to fall in interest rate and due to fall in taxation rate by the government, and if government expenditure increases, in this case IS curve will shift to the right hand side. Here IS curve is initial IS curve which is downward sloping curve, and next IS curve which is showing IS dash. This curve is showing increase in IS, and this is the shift of right hand side shift, which shows that investment and saving both is increasing in the economy due to following the expansionary fiscal policy by the government. So IS curve can be shifted either to the right hand side or left hand side. Next is what factors are responsible for the shift in the IS curve. Here are so many factors which are responsible or which exist always behind the shift in IS curve are: one is expected future marginal product of capital. If we expect that future marginal product of capital will increase, then IS curve will shift to the right hand side. And if we expect that future marginal product of capital will fall, then IS curve will shift to the left hand side. Second is effective tax rate on capital. If there is a more taxation, more tax rate on capital, then IS curve will shift to the left hand side. And if there is less effective tax rate on capital, then IS curve will shift to the right hand side. If government increase the investment level, then IS curve will shift to the right hand side. And if government investment falls, this curve will shift to the left hand side. Expected future output. If there will be increase in expected future output, then IS curve will shift to the right hand side and vice versa. Wealth, if wealth increases in the economy, then IS curve will shift to the right hand side, and if wealth falls, it will shift to the left hand side. Government consumption, if government spend more money on consumer goods, it means government expenditure is increasing. Due to rise in government expenditure, IS curve will shift to the right hand side. And if government impose more taxes on consumers and producers, our purchasing power will fall, consumption will fall, demand will fall. Due to fall in demand, producers will discourage to produce goods and services. In this case, production will fall and investment will also fall. And due to fall in investment, IS curve will shift to the left hand side. So these are the main factors which are responsible for the shift in IS curve. Next is LM curve. Here I have discussed about IS curve analysis, in which I have discussed with you what is IS curve, how we can derive IS curve, and how we can derive the equation of IS curve, what is the slope of IS curve, it may be steeper, may be flatter, and what factors are responsible for the shift in IS curve. But now the next is LM, which shows money market equilibrium. Here L means liquidity preference. Money is a very liquid form of asset. According to Keynes, money is demanded by each and every person because money has purchasing power. Money can purchase goods and services. Money is a medium of exchange, and money can be easily storable. Money has a transfer of value. Money can be used as a standard of deferred payments, and bank can use money for making multiple money or generating more money with the help of existing money. So money is demanded by each and every country people because money has purchasing power. And money is very liquid form of asset. Each and every other asset like gold, diamond, FDs, bill of exchange, and property, all these are known as near money, which can be converted in terms of money, but that is not as much as liquid as money. Money is very liquid form of asset which can be easily used by every person for anything to buy. So according to Keynes, money is demanded by everyone for basically three purposes. And these three purposes are: one is transaction motive, second is precautionary motive, and third is speculative motive. But classical economics said that money is demanded only for transaction purpose, not for other purposes. But Keynes said that money is demanded for three purposes which are most important. One is transaction, second is precautionary, and third is speculative. So L represent liquidity preference or money demand. And what are the motives behind holding money in cash form? These are three. And M shows money supply. Money is supplied by Reserve Bank of India, and money supply is a stock concept which is issued by RBI at a particular point of time, not daily. So LM shows money market equilibrium because in this we include money demand, which is represented by L, and money supply, which is represented by M. Both are related with money demand and money supply related with money. So LM curve shows money market equilibrium. We have to come up with a measure of money. We call the measures of money with an interesting name that is called real money balances or real money stock, which can be calculated by dividing money supply to price level, M by P. This is real money balances. To determine how much money we hold, As always in economics, we will look for an equilibrium. The holding money in cash form represents L or money demand. The equilibrium between the supply of real money balances and the demand for real money balances is called money market equilibrium. So LM curve shows the equilibrium under money market where money demand is equals to money supply. This is the derivation of LM curve, how we can derive LM curve. This curve can be shown, first of all, we will draw money supply curve. That money supply curve will be a vertical line because money supply is a stock concept and money supply is not affected by the rate of interest, either rate of interest rise or fall, it will remain constant. That's why money supply curve will be vertical line or parallel to the y-axis curve. Next, this downward sloping lines are showing money demand. Money demand curve is always downward sloping curve which shows inverse relationship between rate of interest and money demand. Due to high interest rate, money demand falls, and due to low interest rate, money demand rises. So money demand curve is always downward sloping curve from left to right. Where money demand and money supply curve intersect each other, equilibrium point is determined. At this equilibrium point, quantity will be determined and the rate of interest will be determined. At E point, quantity of money is Q and the rate of interest is R0. As well as demand for money rises, curve will shift to the rightward or right hand side. Here the new equilibrium point when money demand increases but money supply can't increase because money supply is a stock concept and it remains always constant or parallel to the y-axis or vertical curve. So if money demand increases, equilibrium point will change from E to E dash. At this equilibrium point, rate of interest will be R1 and quantity of money will remain same due because money supply is constant. And if money demand further increases, the new equilibrium point will also be changed from E dash to E double dash. And here rate of interest will be determined R2, but the quantity of money remains constant because money supply is constant or vertical curve. If we join these three rate of interest line to another curve, then we can draw LM curve with the help of this. Here at the less rate of interest, income will less. At high rate of interest, income will high. At another rate of interest, if this is R2, then income level will also increase from Y1 to Y2. So if we join these three equilibrium points, E, E dash and E double dash, then we can get LM curve. LM curve is always 45-degree line and upward sloping curve which shows that there is a positive and direct relationship between rate of interest and the level of income. LM shape is always upward but the IS curve slope is always downward because IS curve shows goods market equilibrium and LM shows money market equilibrium. So the slope of both the curves are different. IS curve slope is downward and LM curve slope is always upward from it will start from the origin or it can be start from the above point of the origin, but the slope of LM curve will be always positive or upward, which shows different combinations of rate of interest and the level of income and which are always positively related to each other. So this is the derivation of LM curve which we can derive with the help of money demand and money supply curve intersection. In this case, money supply will not change, only money demand curve can shift to the right hand side due to rise in money demand. And if we join these lines to another curve, then we can get LM curve. So this is the derivation of LM curve. Next is shifting of LM curve. LM curve can be shifted either to the right hand side or left hand side. The shift in LM curve depends upon monetary policy because LM shows money market equilibrium and money market is regulated by RBI, and Reserve Bank of India has full control over supply of money and credit creation process. RBI can control money supply and can control credit creation. RBI can follow two types of monetary policy. One is expansionary monetary policy and second is contractionary monetary policy. If there is inflation exists in the economy, what is inflation? Inflation is the continuous or persistent rise in price level for the long time period. If price level increases, then inflation situation will occur. And to control this inflation, RBI will follow contractionary monetary policy to reduce the inflation rate. And if there is deflation exist in the economy, deflation is that situation when price continuously fall for the long time period, then deflation situation will occur and depression or recession will occur. And to solve this problem, RBI will follow the expansionary monetary policy. So RBI can easily solve these two problems like inflation or deflation. If RBI follow expansionary monetary policy, in this case, money supply will rise, and if money supply rises, then LM curve will shift to the right hand side, just the same as supply curve. Supply always increases or due to rise in supply curve, then supply shifts to the right hand side. Same as if money supply increases by the RBI, then LM curve will shift to the rightward. And if RBI decreases the money supply, then LM curve will shift to the left hand side. So LM curve can be shift depends upon the functioning of the monetary policy. It may be contractionary or may be expansionary, depends upon the situation which exists in the economy. It may be inflationary situation or may be deflationary situation. If inflationary situation exists, money supply will reduce, LM curve will shift to the left hand side, and if inflation situation exists, then LM curve will shift to the right hand side. If money supply increases due to rise in money supply, circulation of money will rise, people purchasing power will rise, demand will rise, economy will reach in situation of boom. In this case, LM curve will shift to the right hand side. So LM curve can be shift to the right hand or left hand side. And here the first diagram is showing that MS curve. MS is money supply, which is always vertical curve. If money supply increases, then vertical curve will shift to the right hand side and money demand curve will remain same, downward sloping curve. Where money demand and money supply curve intersect each other, equilibrium rate of interest is determined and quantity of money will also be determined. When money supply increases, rate of interest will fall and quantity of money will rise, and money supply will rise due to rise in money supply at the fall in interest rate, then LM curve will shift to the right hand side, and this LM0 is actual money LM curve is actual or initial curve is LM0, but the shift in LM curve, which is LM1, is showing increase in money supply. Next is the factors. What factors are responsible for the shift in LM curve? Here, when nominal money supply increases, nominal money supply is not divided by the price. So if nominal money supply is divided by the price level, then we can get real money supply or real money balances. But the increase in actual money or paper currencies, that is called nominal money supply. If nominal money supply increased, then LM curve will shift to the right hand side. And if nominal money supply falls, then LM curve will shift to the left hand side. Due to rise in price level, RBI follow contractionary monetary policy. In this case, LM curve will shift to the left hand side. If there is increase in wealth, then LM curve will shift to the right hand side. If there is increase in nominal interest rate, then LM curve will shift to the left hand side. If there is expected inflation in the economy, then LM curve will shift to the left hand side. Relative risk of non-money asset to money asset. If there is too much risk of non-money asset to money asset, then LM curve will shift to the left hand side. And if there is more liquidity in the economy of money, then money supply curve will shift to the right hand side. More liquidity preference demand will increase the money supply, and due to rise in money supply, LM curve will shift to the right hand side. So these are the factors which can shift LM curve either to the right hand side or to the left hand side. Next is properties of LM curve. Properties or features or characteristics of the LM curve is, number one is LM curve slope is always upward sloping curve, which shows direct and positive relationship between income and interest rate, and L is liquidity preference or money demand. If income level rises, money demand for transaction purpose and money demand for precautionary purpose will also rise, and interest rate will also rise. So increase or decrease in the real money supply shifts the LM curve rightward or leftward. The steepness LM curve may be also flatter or steeper, same as IS curve. IS curve slope may be steeper, may be flatter, same as LM curve slope may be steeper or may be flatter. But the factors are different. In case of IS, the slope of IS depends upon the size of multiplier and investment, sensitivity of investment to the rate of interest. But the steepness and flatness of the LM curve describes the elasticity or responsiveness of money demand to the rate of interest and to the level of income. If LM curve is more steeper, it means there is less sensitivity and curve is called inelastic. And flat LM curve shows elastic LM curve. LM curve may be steeper or may be flatter, depends upon the rate of interest and the level of income. Slope of LM curve depends upon, number one is sensitivity of money demand to the rate of interest, and second is sensitivity of money demand to the level of income, or it may be known as GDP, gross domestic product, which is always equals to income. If there is more sensitivity of money demand to the rate of interest, then LM curve will be more flatter. And if there is less sensitivity of money demand to the rate of interest, then curve will be more steeper. Second is, if there is more sensitivity of money demand to the level of income, curve will be more flatter. And if there is less sensitivity of money demand to the level of income, then curve will be steeper. So more sensitivity of money demand, either it may be more sensitive to the rate of interest or it may be more sensitive to the level of income. When money demand is more sensitive to these two factors, one is interest rate and other is level of income, then curve will be more flatter. And if money demand is less sensitive to the interest rate and less sensitive to the level of income, then curve will be steeper. Here the LM1 curve is showing steeper LM curve, which is generally in elastic shape. And next LM2 is showing flatter LM curve, which is generally more elastic. That is flatter LM2 and LM1 is steeper, and both are depends upon two factors. One is interest rate and the second is level of income or GDP. Next is the goods and the money market equilibrium. Now here we have discussed about what is goods market equilibrium, what is money market equilibrium. Goods market equilibrium is represented by IS curve and money market equilibrium is represented by LM curve. How goods and money market are in equilibrium position. So equilibrium of the goods market is achieved when the goods market is cleared. According to Keynes, planned saving is equals to planned investment, then goods market will be in equilibrium position. S is planned saving and I is showing planned investment. Or we can write in another form, Y is equals to C plus I. Here Y is the level of income and C is the consumption level and I is the investment level. In case of money market equilibrium, where money demand will be equals to money supply, then equilibrium situation can be achieved. So equilibrium of the money market requires equality between the supply of money and the demand for money. Supply of money can be written MS and demand for money we can write MD. Here MD is money demand, which is basically for three purposes according to Keynes: transaction purpose, precautionary purpose and speculative purpose. And money is supplied by Reserve Bank of India at a particular point of time. That's why money supply remains always constant at a particular point of time. So goods and money market can be equilibrium according to these situations. Next is diagram, how money market and goods market are in equilibrium, or how we can show simultaneous equilibrium in goods market and in money market. Here IS curve is downward sloping curve which shows negative relationship between interest rate and the level of income. Generally we can define IS curve like in this form, like IS curve shows different combinations of rate of interest and the level of income, which shows negative relationship between rate of interest and the level of income. Due to rise in interest rate, level of income will fall, and due to fall in interest rate, level of income will rise. That's why this IS curve slope is always downward from left to right, and it shows goods market equilibrium. And LM curve is always upward sloping curve which shows direct and positive relationship between level of income and rate of interest. Where these two curves intersect each other, equilibrium point is determined and equilibrium rate of interest will also be determined. So this is the Hicksian or Keynesian theory of determination of interest rate. How interest rate is determined through the ISLM curve analysis. John Maynard Keynes presented and John Hicks presented this model where IS curve and LM curve both intersect each other. Equilibrium rate of interest is determined. That is the actual determination of interest rate which exists at present. So LM is the money market equilibrium and IS shows goods market equilibrium. The equation of LM is money supply, we can write in this form M bar upon P bar. M bar is real money supply or real money balances divided by P bar constant price level is equals to L bracket in bracket R and Y is written. L is liquidity preference or money demand. Money demand is related with two things. One is rate of interest and second is level of income. So money demand is the function of rate of interest and the level of income. We can write money supply. Instead of money supply, we can write M bar upon P bar. And instead of money demand, we can write L in bracket R and Y. And in case of IS equation, we can write C plus I plus G. Here C can be calculated Y minus T bar, income minus taxes. Taxes are autonomous or constant. Then we can get disposable income, and consumption always depends upon disposable income. I is investment. Investment is related to rate of interest. So we can write investment is the function of R. And G, here we have taken G bar. G bar is autonomous government expenditure, which remains constant. So this is the equation of IS curve. The intersection of IS and LM curve represent simultaneous equilibrium in the market of goods and services and in the market of real money balances for given values of government spending, taxes, the money supply, and the price level. Next is the ISLM model. The equilibrium in the goods market implies that an increase in the interest rate leads to a decrease in output. And equilibrium in financial market or money market implies that an increase in output leads to an increase in interest rate. When the IS curve intersects the LM curve, both goods and money market or financial market are in equilibrium. So IS is always downward sloping curve and LM is always upward sloping curve. IS shows equilibrium in goods market, LM shows equilibrium in financial market, where both curve intersect each other according to John Hicks and John Maynard Keynes. Equilibrium rate of interest and the equilibrium level of income will be determined on that equilibrium point. And the equation of IS is y is equals to C in bracket y minus t plus I. I is the function of rate of interest and income, and G shows government expenditure. And LM equation is M bar upon P bar, or we can write M by P. Here M is nominal money supply divided by price level. Then we can get real money balances or real money supply is equals to money demand, which is the function of interest rate and the level of income. Next is how equilibrium is re-established in ISLM model. When disequilibrium occurs in the market, then equilibrium at the equilibrium point we can reach. At point D, first of all, here equilibrium point is E, where IS and LM curve intersect each other. Here equilibrium rate of interest is R1 and equilibrium rate of level of income is Y2. But if any disequilibrium like point D, economy is in equilibrium in money market but disequilibrium in product market. As D lies right of IS curve means supply in goods market, that is saving is greater than investment. So low demand. If saving is greater than investment, it means people are consuming less. Then their demand will be low in goods market. And if demand is decreases, then income level will fall. This reduces. If income falls, then it will reduce the money demand, and lower money demand will fall the lower interest rate. This process will continue till the equilibrium is restored at point E, where both markets are in equilibrium. It means if there is any disequilibrium occur in the ISLM curve, then automatically we can achieve the equilibrium level. Here Here are four quadrants: 1, 2, 3, 4. In first quadrant, excess supply of goods and excess supply of money occur. In second quadrant, excess demand for goods and excess supply of money will occur. In third quadrant, excess demand for goods and excess demand for money will occur. And in fourth quadrant, excess supply of goods and excess demand for money will occur. So conclusion, IS curve shows the goods market equilibrium, LM curve shows money market equilibrium, where both curve intersect each other. Equilibrium point will be determined and rate of interest will be determined by taking both fiscal and monetary policies we use in ISLM model to control the situation of inflation and recession. Thank you.